Hello everyone, my name is Cap and welcome back to the channel. Another 7 days at video and Alpha 19 is here. At least the Streamers Weekend part of it. This video is being done and you'll get to see it on June 26th, which is Friday. If there's no major problems, the game will come out in experimental for everybody else on Steam on Monday. But for the moment, I'm happy to be a part of the Streamers group. Big thanks to the Fun Pimps for allowing me to be a part of it. Now I am going to be doing some code giveaways in this video. If you want to have a chance to win the game, all you have to do is just leave a like on the video and leave a comment in the comment section down below and said, I want a game, I want to win the game or something. I'm going to use a random picker to choose who gets it. And that's pretty much it. I'm giving away 3 codes, so you have 3 chances to win. And what I'm going to do is, this video is coming out on Friday, Saturday, 24 hours after the video comes up, I'll go through and pick out the names. I'm going to respond to your comment and let you know, hey, you won, and that you need to email me so I can send you the code. If you don't respond within 24 hours of me responding to your comment, I'm giving it to somebody else. That's just the way it works. Can't do it indefinitely. So make sure you have your notifications turned on or whatever you need to see if you won. You'd be surprised how many codes I've tried to give away over the years and went through 6 or 7 people before I got to somebody who would actually respond here. So it's kind of crazy. Just keep that in mind. And I wish you all the best of luck. Now, real quick before I say that, the code will give you access to the game. You won't be able to download Alpha 19 until Monday like everybody else, but it is a free copy of the game. And if you don't win it that way, the game's currently on sale on Steam anyway. Alright, now I'm going to get to some of the things they changed here in the game. Obviously, you can see the biggest change that they did here was texture streaming. They redid the way a lot of the textures work. The trees look differently. The streets look different in places. And a lot of the zombies got changed over from Alpha 18. And I'm standing over here in front of the working stiff tools. You can see this whole building looks different than it used to. Right down that way is Dyersville. You can see on the map here. If you remember correctly, the working stiff tools was on this side. Well, they moved it to this side of the road, and they did the same thing with a lot of other POIs. They moved them around, changed their locations, and completely replaced some POIs with others. So even if you're really familiar with Navezgane, you may notice that things look a little bit differently. Now I'm going to just kind of roam in here just to kind of show you guys some of the other textures they did, but you can see just how much better the textures look. The concrete looks better, you see the wood piles look better. Let's see if we get inside here, and they did a lot of work making sure that the POIs look like they actually used to have people in them. You can see, the shelves actually look like they've been kind of worked on. They're not just straight empty shelves anymore. They have boxes and stuff. They put in tons and tons of items on the shelves to make it look like it used to be a functioning place. Now, you're going to see a lot of things that you don't recognize, and same here, like the beverage machine stuff. It looks like an old beverage machine instead of just being a weird flat texture on there. The bookshelves have been replaced. A lot of the textures have been replaced and redone completely, so you walk into these POIs, and it actually feels like it used to be a functioning store. See, we got the garden area here, got a sleeper over here in the corner. Gonna wake her up. And several of the zombies did get an HD remake over as well, and I will show you some of those when we get a little bit further into the video. I'm just kind of walking around showing you kind of what this new POI looks like here, because there's lots of changes like that. Something else they changed was the way skills were done. If you notice, a lot of these skill trees, these perk trees here, don't go all the way to 5 anymore. Like lockpicking, it ends at 3. Animal tracker ends at 3. Treasure hunter ends at 3. And as you go through a lot of these, you see they don't all go to 5 anymore. And they decided there wasn't really a need to have 5 levels for some of the lower level things. It just didn't make any sense to them. So they decided to change it. Will it make the game easier or harder? I don't know yet. We'll have to see as we get into it. They did change the way the game does as far as skill progression later on. Like the game stage no longer takes into account the game difficulty. And so trying to figure out, how many zombies you're going to get, it's not just based on the difficulty of the game here. It's more based on your experience level, how many kills you've got, if you've survived, how many days you've survived, not just what the difficulty of the game is. And even the size of your party doesn't affect it as much as it used to. It's a fraction. Now, the new robot they added to the game is this little sledge robot right here. It works kind of like the junk turret does in the fact that it's autonomous. It doesn't require any fuel. You can't even do anything with it besides interact with it. But what it does is it scans back and forth, and if it sees any zombies in the foreground here right in front of it. So let's get Sylvia in here, and we'll have her come over here, and we'll show you what this actually looks like. Now, I'll go way more in depth with all this new stuff in individual videos. This is just kind of an overview. All right, so we can see what this does when it targets her. When it gets a little bit closer, it starts just beating the hell out of them. Now, it's not just going to vault them off into the distance or whatever. This is something you'd want to put like at the front door of your base. Zombies come walking up, it causes them to stumble, and it can kill them after doing enough hits, but it kind of just knocks them backwards. And of course, the level of the turret that you put down is based on your level of your skill. But that's one of the new things they added, was this cool little turret here. They also changed the loading screens in the game, so you can toggle through 22 different pages of tips for new players, teach you some things about the game, just to kind of give you some information, and the new loading screens just look fantastic. These are in-game assets too. Something else they added to the game that's really kind of cool is they put in basically different kinds of candies. They're named different things, so you can't really just search for each one individually, but you can see you can find these in vending machines, you can find them like regular food. And you can see that they give you basically a 5-minute boost to different things here. Like this one, if you eat some hackers, this gives you a plus 20% salvage harvest, lasts for 10 minutes, and gives you 5 food there. So when you eat this for 10 minutes, you get 20% more stuff when you're actually salvaging things. The health bar here gives you health bar bonus, gives you an armor critical resistance, natural critical hit, and you can see so all of these do a lot of different kinds of things in the games just as a little boost. It's just candy. Now, these borderline are drugs, of course. You know, some of them act like heroin or whatever, but like this one, check that out. The oh shits drops. Fall damage minus 100%. So, I have to assume, and I could probably do some testing later on in a different video, that if you take this, you could fall off the Dashang Tower, hit the ground, and walk away without a problem. So that's kind of cool. It's just an additional little thing they added to the game just to kind of give you a boost. You never know, mining harvest, 20% for 10 minutes, that would be great when you're trying to gather up some iron or some lead or shale or whatever late game stuff. This could be good to find too. So they do have some new items in the game here, like the tech level 1 is your robot sledge, which we showed that off here, and the blunderbuss. Now the blunderbuss isn't new, but it's considered a tech level 1 item because you're going to use it probably a lot more earlier game. It has a lot more use than it did in the past, because they changed the way leveling is done in the game, so you can't go do just a tier 1 quest from a trader and all of a sudden you've got a tier 5 shotgun. They've changed the way the scaling does of the loot that you find, so you're going to start off finding a lot crappier loot. So things like the blunderbuss that you can make pretty much on day 1 almost, makes it a lot easier to have an advantage earlier in the game since you're not going to be finding as greater things. Now they did add the tactical assault rifle. This one is new. And the ratchet. The ratchet is the upgraded version of the wrench. It allows you to disassemble items, vending machines, cars, etc. just a little bit faster than the wrench does, has a little bit better durability, and I believe you do get better resources with this too. Now, the tier 3 stuff that they added, we have the Desert Vulture, which is of course the 44 Desert Eagle. We have the auto shotgun, which is pretty fantastic. In fact, let me show you. They even added some different kinds of slugs you can put in here. We got breaching slugs and armor piercing slugs. Let's get some of these real quick. I'll reload. Leave me alone for just a second, bam. Alright. Now, as you can hear, and I'll turn it up so you can hear it, there's some dramatic music playing. And that's one of the other things I wanted to show off in this game too, is that now when you're in the middle of combat or when you go to a trader or things are happening, the game has a dynamic music system, and so it will play a music that kind of sets a tone and a mood for whatever kind of situation you're in. So you can see this shotgun is pretty BA. I mean, it holds quite a few rounds or whatever. You can absolutely just decimate people with it, and it's rapid fire. It fires every time you pull the trigger, so it's semi-automatic. But that's pretty freaking awesome. It's definitely a lot faster shooting than some of the other ones. Like I said, the Desert Eagle, basically, this is the hand cannon. This thing is pretty awesome. Has a nice little bang to it for certain. This is the gun I've been looking forward to. Definitely like the Desert Eagle in real life, so this is one I'm glad to have too. Sniper rifle, this one is definitely improved over the original Marshman Rifle. Right at the moment there's no scope specifically on here, so you have the animation just kind of showing up. It's a little bit weird. This is one of those that they're working on fixing, just the way this pops up on here. So it kind of makes it hard to aim, but they're aware of that one already, and they're definitely going to get that one fixed. And then the last of the tier 3 stuff is the impact driver, which looks just like an impact wrench here. And this is the upgraded version of the wrench, so if you're going to be taking stuff apart, you can take stuff apart a lot faster than you could with just a basic wrench here. So that's what this is used for. Alright, I had to get in fight with Bam here to show you one of the things they changed. Over on the left hand side of the screen, you can see now they redid the way the the stamina and the health bar is. It no longer just blacks out without any kind of indicators what's going on. Now you have different levels of criticals. And when you have a critical, you'll get a different icon down here showing what it is that you can just hover over. And if you want to know what it is, you click it and it'll take it to your actual stats page and show that you have fatigued. It shows that your health is lowered by a certain amount. This one's going to last for 2 more minutes or I'm sorry, 2 more hours. So this one lasts for a little bit. And that way you have an idea as to why you actually have some sort of debuff to your health or to your stamina or anything like that. It's just to kind of give you a better indicator as to what you did, how long it's going to last, and what you have to do to fix it. Now, if you happen to fly up, let's see, we'll go... Okay, so now that you have a break, and click on this and goes back over here, you got a broken leg, and it'll show you what you're going to need to do to be able to fix it. See, broken leg, a splint, or a cast will speed up the healing. It tells you what you're going to need to do to fix that. So it's nice that they actually put that in the game. And I didn't mention it earlier, but if you look down at the bottom of the screen, below your tool belt, now you have 2 more additional status bars. The left one is your food, the right one is your water. People have wanted those 2 things added back to the screen for a long time, so now you have them on screen and you can tell where your food and water is without having to just try and guess, or using an additional mod to add them back to the screen. Now some people may want to use mods to put them back over on the left side where everything else is, but at least they have those on the screen so you can see for quick reference. Now they also did a lot of texture changes to the zombies themselves. They didn't get to all of them, but they're definitely working on them. These are in HD texture. So what we have over here is we have Arlene, Bo, Joe, and Marlene. As you can see, they look completely different than they did from the Alpha 18 version of it. So, you know, some of the original names I came up with some of these zombies I'm going to have to try and remember because they don't look like what they used to. But you can see they did a lot of work and get all nice up and close to these people, whatever. They spent a lot of time making them look like they've been around for a little while. They have a little bit more tears and stuff in their torsos and their heads. You can see the textures on their face a little bit better. That's some nasty looking infection you got on your neck there, lady. But you can see they did a lot of work in making all the zombies look a lot better. Now, something else they did here, let's turn those back on, is you can see that if I run past them, whatever, they all have a head movement. So they can all actually look at you as you run past them. They're not just stiff-necked, whatever. It's kind of hard to show while I'm running here, but you see they're all kind of turning their heads to look at me. All right, turn you guys back off real quick. And we got the dramatic music playing too, which is very, very cool. Something I think they added that was very, very cool I want to show here is they put in new fog. Now, when the best it could possibly get in-game is this. This is at 0.35. You can see it's pretty awesome. It adds kind of like a Silent Hill vibe to it. It looks really cool. It uses, you know, draw distance to kind of figure out how far away to be able to show things as you're walking up here. But it definitely adds a new creepy vibe to it. You can go into this is as good as it's going to get in game, so you don't have to worry about getting any worse than this. But if you wanted to go in and edit it into the XML files to make it a little bit worse, you could bump it up to something like this. Which I know most people are like, why in the hell would you want to play like this? I'm like, I don't know why you'd want to play like this, but I mean, that's pretty freaking dark. How about we go to 0.5 and see how terrible that is? Okay. So that almost looks manageable. You can't really see what you're doing. I'm standing right here in front of the store and you can barely see it at all. But to be able to have the fog in there is freaking cool. I like that they added that. Adds a little bit more realism to there. Hopefully eventually we'll get like a dynamic weather system where the fog can like roll in on sometimes and then roll back out. Maybe some snow, rain pop in. Who knows if they'll add any kind of weather system later on. But I thought the new fog system was pretty fantastic. So like I was saying, one of the things they changed was basically, you know, how the texture streaming does, how the lighting does. You know, I'm over here in the desert and you can look at just how the way the rocks look here based on where the sunlight is and how everything looks as we're kind of just flying along. It looks way cleaner, in my opinion. I love the way it looks now. It looks freaking fantastic. And like I said, they updated a bunch of the different kinds of POIs you have around here. In the Random World Gen, they did a lot of work on making sure that the roads actually made sense and connected the way they were. I think overall the game just looks phenomenal. It just keeps getting better and better with the new texture streaming, with the new linear lighting. And so the way the game works with lighting has even been changed. So it looks a lot better indoors. It looks a lot better as it's getting dark and the way with shadows. The natural lighting of some of the items like torches, lanterns, and things like that you find in-game just look a hell of a lot better. I'm flying over to here just to kind of get a look at how we have gone here. They changed the way the wasteland and the burnt forest looks. So now when you get into it, it's not just completely foggy. It's dark looking, but it looks way better. Look how the forest looks here. They redid all the tree textures here, so it looks like a burnt forest. It looks great. This is absolutely terrifying looking. If you're going to spend a whole lot of time here, this looks nice and creepy. Alright then, well that just pretty much wraps it up here. I don't want to show off absolutely everything yet because there's a lot of stuff they changed in the game. I think it looks fantastic. But we have a new season of 7 Days to Die here. Alpha 19 is here. Lots of new content to come. With all the new changes and additions, we have a lot of new testing and tutorial style videos that are coming along. If you have any things you want me to retest, you know, heat map related or fall damage or things like that, leave those in the comments and I'll keep those on my to-do list. Make sure you don't miss out on a chance to win a copy of the game if you want to by leaving a comment down below telling me you want to. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for the support. Hope you guys are ready for another season of 7 Days to Die. Make sure you leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you in the next one.